Here are my thoughts after watching this reunion. It was all a lie. It was all a lie. It was all a lie. It was giving Mari all day. The only thing they were missing was a baby and a paternity test. Like, welcome to the Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Married at First Sight Season 13 reunion, okay? So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we begin, I'd like for everyone to check out my website, lavidarosastyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now, my do not disturb earrings, and more. The link is down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. It's a two-parter. It's a two-part reunion. What? See, this is how I know they're trying to go down the love and hip hop route. Why was this a two-part reunion? That didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I feel like they really could have kept it all in one part. Maybe did an hour-and-a-half special, but coins. They want their money, right? I'm very disappointed in a few people that got exposed for being so deceitful. I just did not see those kind of bombs dropping this reunion, child. But here it is. Majority of this cast is just trifling. It is what it is. It's very few people to root for. Pretty much everyone is questionable. I don't put anything past them. I want to know what was the vetting process in choosing these people, because all of everything that we've been finding out, it just seems to be getting worse and worse. Let's just go ahead and get started, and I'm just going to go in order of how everything happened. So we're starting with Jose and Rachel. You know, we get the pleasantries out of the way. Oh, she's everything I wanted in a woman. He's everything I wanted in a man. Okay, we get it. Can we get to the real? So then Kevin Frazier calls Jose out about locking her out of the apartment, which is something that I would have liked to have seen during the season, but at least we got it during the reunion. You know, Kevin Frazier is not my favorite, but I will say he does call people out, hold people's feet to the fire when he's not being biased. Okay, so they went over the scenario and everything that happened. And what that showed me is it's not just him locking her out. It was the behavior before and after he locked her out. I mean, he cursed her out, called her all types of names, said he was going to throw his ring at her for her calling him Johnny. Like, he just went in on her. And then the next day after she got locked out, he was super nonchalant and did not care that he locked his wife out. And it was so sad to me when she was like, well, when I was locked out, what am I supposed to do? Just sit in the hallway? Because she went and knocked on other people's doors that she knew. They didn't answer because it was the middle of the night. They were asleep. What was she supposed to do? You know, I low-key am glad they didn't even bring up the fact that she called her ex, because at this point, I was unsafe. You threw me out here to the wolves. So I need to call someone that I know will have my back, because right now my husband do not care about me. Another thing he did was go around lying to people. He implied that she said her ex's name when really she said Johnny's name, and you know, he was refusing to take accountability for the situation in trying to place all the responsibility on her for how he reacted. So all this major explosion happened over something so minute. That's the reason why it's brought up over and over again, because this is like a very serious, this is not just one thing he did. It's like a series of things that he did that are like huge red flags. And in my mind, if you're capable of this for such a small argument, imagine if we have a big one. When Kevin first brought it up, he was still trying to minimize what he did as an oops. And Kevin had to hold his feet to the fire, and it's like crazy that a man had to press him in order for him to really take ownership. Rachel was sitting there grinning the whole time, because you know this is exactly what she wanted, for him to finally admit it. In her mind, I know she was like, get him, Kevin, get him, Kevin. But then I was so disappointed because she kind of gave him an excuse and kind of caped for him. And I'm like, girl, here we go. People don't just show their true colors through their words, they show them through their actions, okay? So if this man locks you out of the house again, change the locks on you, throw your clothes out, kicks you out, it will be on you at that point. Like, yeah, he's trash for what he did, but you knew that he was capable of it, and you still decided to be with someone who you know doesn't have the best character. Then it comes out that they broke up for about a month. She said he made it uncomfortable for her to move her stuff in. I guess it was taking her a while to like unpack or whatever. And she decided to move out and live with her mom because she was done. She said she was completely done with him. She wasn't trying to be with him. And but I guess she decided to give him another chance, and they started dating. And I guess now they're trying to work it out. Girl, let it go, please. Please let it go. You had the right idea. Let it go. It's not worth it, I promise. So let's move on to Ryan and Brett. I'm so disappointed. I'm so upset. Brett, I've been knowing about this information that came out about Brett for a couple of weeks now, and I've been kind of holding back because I didn't want to spoil the show, but anyway, we'll get to it. So they said they haven't really talked to one another, but they have no beef with one another. And I'm just like, even if you really didn't like each other, neither one of y'all would say it because y'all are both very passive. But I do feel like even if Ryan would have given her a chance and Brett would have given Ryan a chance, I don't think they would have made it in the long run because they have different political leanings. I'm going to put it that way. So when talking about the relationship, she said that he should have just been upfront and honest about communicating his feelings. And I'm just like, but Brett, you probably should have too. Then the sister comes out. Ryan's sister, who they look like straight up twins. Are they twins? Why do they look exactly alike? Like literally copy and paste their face, like just add facial hair to her. That's Ryan. Just put on some makeup on Ryan, and that's the sister. Like they look exactly alike. So Kevin said that she overstepped by telling Brett that possibly he could be distracted by an ex, and that's the reason why he's not being invested in their relationship. And then that's when she dropped the bomb and said that Brett had been dating someone else. And Brett looked shook, okay? Brett looked caught. Brett can deny it as much as she wants to, but as soon as they got brought up, she looked caught to me. The sister said she brought this up because she felt deceived. She was trying to help with their relationship, thinking that Brett was still invested. So apparently Brett met someone and exchanged numbers with this man. Ryan said the night she exchanged numbers with this man, she didn't come home till like 2 o'clock in the morning for the next 2 nights, right? She claims that she never pursued a relationship with this man until her relationship with Ryan was done. She doesn't even have a relationship with this mystery man anymore. Basically, Brett is deny. This is how I feel about this. Ryan was dead wrong because I feel like as soon as you realized you were not feeling Brett, you knew that you were not going to invest in this woman, in this relationship. You were basically checked out. I feel like you were wrong for sticking around. You should have dropped out when you realized you did not want to be with this woman, okay? I mean, you were saying from the very beginning you were not physically attracted to her. You know you're shallow, okay? You know that. This does not give Ryan a pass, okay? I still think he was dead wrong. But Brett, you tried to go off on him and go in on him, and we were all rooting for you whenever you found out he was on a dating app. All the while you were dating another man. So you were definitely being deceitful and manipulative, and I don't appreciate that because we were all rooting for you. You should have just left that man, all right? Nobody would have blamed you because Ryan can barely express himself. This whole segment, Brett and his sister was doing all the talking. He barely said anything. He just sat up there looking like Eeyore the whole time, okay? So I can understand why you wouldn't want to be with someone that was not putting in any effort at all, but you went about it the wrong way. And at this point, I'm just like, boo, get off the stage. Okay, it gets worse. Michaela and Gil. See, when I first wrote down my notes for this, I wrote some stuff about Gil's beard. I wrote some things about Gil's beard and not knowing how to feel about it, how it almost looks fake, but I like the fact that he actually grew his facial hair because I hated that 5 o'clock shadow. And also the fact that now he's wearing red bottoms when I thought he wasn't about that designer life. But this segment really took a turn and I was low-key disturbed by it. I'm still gonna read my notes, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all, this season I was defending Michaela. I thought she got a bad edit. You know, in many ways I could relate to her. And I just thought maybe she was being misunderstood in some ways. But this segment changed all that for me. Like, I can't defend this behavior. I can't. So I'm just going to read the notes and we'll get to it. In the beginning, they discussed how Gil would always make these little jokes and jabs about, you know, her being high maintenance and things like that. She said she's never experienced that in a relationship. He had a problem with the things that he was teasing her about. So that's why I feel like the jokes were like passive aggressive and they would make me uncomfortable too, and I would probably not like that. What shocked me though is that Michaela never actually told Gil that she didn't like the fact that he did that. And her way of combating what he would say was just basically saying, I'm not high maintenance. But he didn't know that she was irritated by it. For this portion by itself, I will say Gil just cannot accept the fact that neither are wrong for how they feel towards money. I don't think Michaela is wrong for liking material things, liking designer and buying it twice a year. Living the way she wants to live. She's worked hard for her money. She may do that. And Gil's not wrong for liking the simpler things in life and being frugal or whatever else. Neither one of y'all are wrong. And I don't think that neither person should be demonizing the other. Well, Gil should not be demonizing Michaela for that. So this is where we get into the nitty gritty. Okay, so it turns out they did end up moving in together after decision day, because remember, they both said yes. 2 weeks in, she decided that she didn't want to be with him anymore. And I was completely shocked because this season, Michaela has expressed her love for Gil multiple times, like many times. And this is one of the reasons why I was defending Michaela, because I was like, she really cares about this man. She said it out of her own mouth, how he's went above and beyond. I mean, she's gotten emotional. She's cried talking about it. I remember in the very beginning, she did not want to deal with his dog at all. She was not willing to do it. And then we see as their relationship progressed, she got close with the dog. She started walking the dog, and she even wanted a dog of her own. So I was just really, y'all, I was so thrown off by what was being said. So first she said it was because of his financial instability. And then that's when he said he makes $100 more than she does every 2 weeks. And I was just very confused because I thought Michaela said she made double of what he made. So I was so confused by that. I don't know if things have changed since the season versus after decision day, because he did say that Michaela encouraged him to want to be more ambitious when it came to his career. So maybe he worked hard to get to the point where he made more. I don't know. But I could have sworn she made twice what he made. Y'all let me know in the comments. So once that was debunked, she said she wasn't originally attracted to him and they had no chemistry. And she said it just with a straight face, no sort of sugarcoating whatsoever, just blunt. Just like I wasn't originally attracted to him and we just have no chemistry. And I'm just like, then why did you say yes on decision day? Why? Why would you string this man along if you know you're not attracted to him and y'all have no chemistry? What was all of this about? Now, I have to be real. I do remember her saying in the beginning that she didn't want someone bald-headed and she wanted someone with a beard, I believe. And, you know, he was the opposite. But I thought she moved past that. Like, I really did. And a lot of y'all have been saying from the beginning that she wasn't physically attracted to him. But I just thought because their relationship was progressing, you know, sometimes you cannot be physically attracted to someone originally, but then you get to know them and you fall in love with their personality, and then you can get into the physical. Because it's not like he's an ugly man. He's very attractive. So I don't know. Maybe I fell for it just like Gil did. Like, I really, really believed her when she said that she really cared about him and that he was a great person and she really wanted to be with him. For it to come down to the fact that physically that's not what she wants after everything that they done been through with this situation, that is so shallow, like beyond shallow. And you should have never signed up for a show called Married at First Sight. Why are you coming on a show where other people choose your partner? Like, you want someone else to choose your husband when you're super picky. No, that's not how that works. This is not how this show works. And if we're going to be real, Gil is one of the most attractive men to have ever been on the show. And let's just be real. I mean, he's definitely top 3. So Gil was just as blindsided as everyone else watching. He had no indication of her not being attracted to him because she never communicated that to him. Then at one point, he said he sold everything he owned to move in with her. And I'm just like, why would she wait for him to do that in order to leave? Like, it just kept getting worse and worse. Even after she said that she didn't want to be with him, they stayed together for another month after that. And she said she wanted to move out, and he decided to move out instead. And she said she thinks she did what was best for him because he didn't look happy. And honestly, Gil didn't look happy on decision day. I think he was in love with her by then. You know what I'm saying? I think he was in love with her and he was going to try to make it work. At one point, she said she never said, I love you, even though on the show she said, I'm choosing to love you. So what's the difference? You told him that you were choosing to love him. You said this in front of a table full of people. And then my heart broke because he said he is still in love with her. And if given the chance, he would still get back with her. My heart broke. My heart broke. And then at this point, Kevin made it painfully clear, like literally twisting the knife and saying that she did not want him. And it's like, Kevin, duh. Like, why now why did you have to say that? It's like he was like, look, man, don't even have any hope left. But I think that Gil knows there's no hope left. It's that last little piece of hope that you have when you want to like get your closure. You want the person back, you know what I'm saying? Literally, you could see Gil's heartache like all over him. Like, he was so broken. Oh my goodness. And she was just sitting there being so cold. She was just being so blunt and so cold, and it was just so mean to me. Like, you see this man is like head over heels in love with you, and the way you're delivering what you're saying, it was just so rude. Basically, he's having a hard time with the abruptness of the breakup, and he's having a hard time accepting the fact that she just was never attracted to him, and he's in therapy. Meanwhile, she's just so nonchalant and callous about the entire thing. Like, she has no sort of emotion towards him whatsoever. And you know, at the end, he said he just wants someone that wants him back. And trust me, Gil, there is a long line in your DMs and probably in person around the block of people that would love to have just one chance with you. Trust me, they're in my comments every day. Okay, you know, you'll have your pick of the lot when you're ready, though. Don't just jump into something just to jump into something. Wait, heal, get divorced, and then move on. All right, so finally, let's talk about Zach and Michaela, child. And let me just preface everything I'm about to say with neither one of them were ready to get married. Both of them are too immature, okay? Both of them need serious, extensive therapy. Maybe for different reasons, but they both need it. So first we see Michaela out on stage alone because she doesn't want to be on stage with Zach. She feels that he will interrupt her and not let her talk. And we've seen Michaela lie, just straight up lie in the past, okay? So when I first saw that she didn't have him on stage, I thought, okay, she's about to put on a show and she doesn't want to be interrupted. Okay, they talk about their first argument. This was when Zach slept in the other room with his dog, left early in the morning to take his dog to doggy daycare. When she woke up, he was gone and had little to no communication with him. And she completely overreacted by completely moving out. She even had a little temper tantrum that was caught on camera, but I believe she was alone when that happened. Now, Michaela agreed with Zach that she had overreacted by moving out, and she admitted that things possibly could have been different had she been able to control herself. She said that that is a point where Zach checked out of the relationship, and I agree. She felt like he didn't give her any forgiveness or grace after that. And honestly, that's his prerogative. But I feel like if he wasn't going to forgive her or if he wasn't going to move past that, then he should have left her. But instead he stayed and held it over her head while pretending to move on. She says that he messed with her emotions, and I agree with her. Whether he meant to or not, he definitely messed with her emotions. I wanted to insert this tweet because this is exactly what Zach did the entire season. She said on their 1 month anniversary that they kissed each other, and he told her not to tell on some Luke. Y'all remember Luke, who was married to Kate a few seasons ago, where they were messing around and he didn't want her to tell nobody? Yeah, Zach did something like that. He's in the back like, what? Oh, that's why she didn't want me out there. That's why she didn't want me out. It was really giving Maury. It was giving Maury all day. The only thing they were missing was a baby and a paternity test. Like, so then she says after decision day, Zach invited her to his apartment, and his apartment is very secure. The only way she would be able to get to his apartment is if he were to allow her up to his apartment. She was there for a week performing wifely duties, cooking, cleaning, all of that. And then he decided to flip one day and say that he needed his space. And this is another example of Zach playing with her emotions. So they try to be friends afterwards. She tells, she apologized to him or whatever. And she said that she wants to hang out. I guess they wanted to go to like a doggy park or something. And he said that he only wanted to hang out with her in the presence of others. And she felt played by him once again. And that was the end of her segment. And I'm just like, okay, so y'all just gonna skip over Hurricane K? Like, y'all brought out her sister and everything. And that was the sister that gave us the name Hurricane K. That was the time for y'all to reprimand Michaela for her terrible behavior at the retreat. Because not only did she exhibit this poor behavior, but she came behind that and lied about it and never actually got the proper she needed to be called out for that. You know what I'm saying? And we have her sister right here. We need more insight. Is this as bad as Hurricane K has ever gotten? Has she been worse? What did you mean when you first brought up Hurricane K in the first place? Like, I just feel like we needed a little bit more background because the sister was right there. Like, that was a huge missed opportunity. So then we have Zach come out. He agrees things went wrong with her moving out the way that she did. The response was over the top. And then they talk about the retreat. At some point they bring up the retreat, and he just feels like he's being blamed for everything, and his behavior should not have made her react that way. I agree. Even though his behavior is very confusing, frustrating, all of that, his behavior should not make her jump up and act a fool like that. I totally agree with that. So while I agree that the blame should not solely fall on him, I do think they both contributed to a toxic situation. I agree that Michaela should be accountable, and it's been brushed over and she plays the victim in these instances. I totally agree with that. He said he's not trying to make her look bad, and I think that's why he goes overboard with she's the best woman I've ever known talk. I feel like that's why he lays that on thick, because he's trying to still be like this nice guy. But honestly, it's making you seem very disingenuous. It's making you look like a liar. Not to mention your communication is terrible. You talk in circles. No one can truly grasp what you're saying. So all of that is like this huge whirlwind of confusion. And so yes, of course, anybody would get mixed signals coming from Zach when he can't properly deliver his point. He goes on to say that this is the worst relationship that he has ever experienced. At this point, Kevin calls him out for talking out of both sides of his mouth on decision day. You gave her false hope. And that's exactly, you proclaimed your love for her and how much you cared about her and all this, and then you said you wanted a divorce. And then he said he wanted to work on things, but that doesn't mean that they'll be together. Like, what do Zach be talking about? Zach, do that make sense in your own brain, or do you think you just getting over? Because you're not. That doesn't even make any sense. Oh yeah, we can work on it, but that doesn't mean we're going to be. Y'all are married. Like, what? So at this point, I feel like he's conflating two issues. No, you're not responsible for the explosive behavior that Michaela exhibits, but you are responsible for the way that you yo-yo her feelings, being so hot and cold with her, okay? You're not responsible for her reactions, but you are responsible for how you treat her. He needs to be held accountable for the mixed messages and like stringing her along knowing that you really don't want to be with her. At this point, I don't know if Zach is trying to pull it. Like, is he trying to play in front of our face, or are you really this delusional? Do you really not have a grasp on what you want in life? And I'm just gonna have to go with the first, because it just felt like he was trying to talk over Kevin, and he was trying to deliver this message in a way that no one will receive. Like, you're not making any sense whatsoever. You haven't been this entire season. We see straight through it, because once again, the math ain't mathing. So at this point, Kevin brings up the kiss on their 1-month anniversary, and he claims that she's lying about the kiss. Behind the scenes, Michaela is saying that he told her that he was going to deny it if it ever came out in public. And so now at this point, Michaela wants him to say it to her face. And she popped up on the show, and it went from Mari to Jerry. Michaela, you had all these opportunities to talk to Zach face to face, and you kept saying no. You kept saying no. Oh, but on your time, you want to rush the stage. No. Now, I do believe Zach is lying. For some reason, I've heard this same play from the F-Boy playbook before, okay? I believe Michaela. I believe Zach kissed her and told her not to tell nobody. I believe that. I do believe it. But y'all both had y'all separate time on the stage. Don't rush the stage. And so he wasn't with it, and he decided to walk out, and that was that. We're left on a cliffhanger. So I guess next episode, this is a 2-parter. Y'all, I'm already mad it was a 2-parter. Y'all, I'm so mad at the people on this season. They deceived me. I was bamboozled, hoodwinked. I didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on me. Like, what is going on here? Okay. But y'all, let me know how y'all feel about it down in the comments. I would love to hear your opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.